Today's topic will be GWTalk. First, my name is Christian Karch. I am CEO of Skypro USA. I run US operations and international sales for Skypro. I am located in Sunnyvale, California, in our US office. Skypro also has offices in Europe, one in Switzerland where we have the headquarters, and we have a development center in Eastern Europe. If anyone has a question, wants to know anything, feel free to use the chat window. I know there's some of my colleagues from our other offices in the webinar as well, so if they see a question and I won't see it, someone will certainly try to answer it. As well, towards the end of the presentation, we'll have a little time for Q&A. And right, GWTalk. What is it? The quick pitch for the product would be GWTalk is a multi-channel communications tool. It helps revolutionizing today's enterprise communication. It helps bringing enterprise communication to the level that is, in our opinion, in Skypro's opinion, needed in today's world. And why is that? We've been looking in the development in communication and that is happening these days, and we see that we are in the midst of a paradigm shift of the way people communicate. Outside the enterprise world, email is not the only way people communicate anymore, and it's changed. That changed quite some time ago. And social media networks, social media tools, instant messaging services, Skype, all these things, they are a big part of our lives outside the office. In today's world, everyone's online all the time. Everyone's connected at least in one place or multiple places at the same time, 24/7, and everyone can be reached at all times. We always know where the people we want to talk to are. They post it, or they are being tagged by other people. This is now finding its way into the enterprise world. We just heard from Q. GroupLink has a Facebook page, Skypro as well, by the way. Businesses are being social, or being online on other places, and being reachable on other places via or their standard phone lines they used to have. So how does it work? How do businesses communicate in this world, in today's world, today's enterprise world? We can see here a little list of the things that are being used, the communications tools that are being used in today's world, the channels. Telephony now became voice over IP telephony. Many customers, many enterprises are using voice over IP based telephone systems, allowing users to work from anywhere in the world, from home, from on the road, from airports, as long as they have a connection to their telephone system. Text messaging has become way more than just a bunch of just kids in school deciding where to watch cartoons at night. It's way more important. Now businesses are using it. Banks are sending out passwords. Doctors' offices are sending out reminders for appointments. Password recoveries from schools, maybe schedules to students. Text messages are now an enterprise, have become an enterprise tool as well. Skype, both the voice and the instant messaging piece are way more than the call they used to be, when someone would call their parents from college to see, oh hey to be able to have a free call. Right now Skype is being used more and more in businesses. We ourselves can see this. Many of our resellers and distributors, we only communicate with them via Skype. Instant messaging, all the other instant messaging services that exist, Novell Messenger, Google Talk, Facebook Chat, all these services that are around are being used for business users as well. Social media as well, many posts are being posted every day. These platforms, including the social media platform tools, are being used in the business world every day, and this is happening more and more. And last but not least, conferencing. Conferencing right now is happening sometimes organized by you. Let's say you talk with one reseller on Skype, then you have your sales guy, you send him a text, so you become the conferencing hub. So this is today's enterprise world, and this is all the communication that came in addition to email. Email is already around, we're already using it, but these new communications channels are, well, they're new to the enterprise world. They're not new to the users, but new to the enterprise world. So how can GWTalk help making things easier? What does GWTalk do? GWTalk actually takes all these additional communications channels and we put them into Groupwise. We want to make sure that the additional communication that is happening, and that is happening until now outside of the radar of the enterprise. We didn't really know what happened. What did people talk on Skype? What did they chat on Novell Messenger or on Google Talk or wherever they were talking? What was sent in a text message? What were they talking on the phone? All this information, this communications information, now will be saved and integrated into Groupwise. Groupwise is a very stable, very reliable tool. It's our daily bread and butter that we use for work, for the usual enterprise communication. So it's backed up, it's always updated, it's had spam filters and so on and so on. So with GWTalk, we create one central and integrated communications hub out of Groupwise by integrating all these additional channels into that one platform. How does it work? How does it actually? How does GWTalk look? We're going to see a bunch of screenshots here from the product itself, how it works, how it looks and feels. In this screen here, we can see the all the types of communications that we have. Setting up GWTalk is really easy. You just decide what channels, what accounts on which networks, services I want to integrate, and I can then see where I'm connected to and where I'm not. On the next screen here, we see a little screenshot. On the left-hand side, we can see the GWTalk client, and on the right-hand side, we see the contact windows. By integrating all these additional channels into within one place, of course, this gives us a very nice opportunity to have a perfect overview on what is actually happening. Where are people online? Where are they offline? We can see in the address book, we can see what channels people are busy offline and online, and this makes it to us makes it to the enterprise user very easy to actually talk to someone. The main idea behind GWTalk is, and the main idea behind the advantages of today's enterprise, of today's communication, is it doesn't matter where we talk. It matters that we talk. It matters that we have a communication, that we have a conversation about something. And for the enterprise, it does not matter whether they speak on Skype or on Novell Messenger, or if they have a conversation, or if they send a text. It doesn't really matter. It's important that the conversation happened. And with a tool like GWTalk, it really becomes not important where you talk. It becomes important that you talk. This then can look like we can see here in the next slide. For example, this is instant messaging, centralized instant messaging. I can see in this screen we're having conversation with multiple people. At the same time, we always see who's involved in the conversation, what's the text, of course, and in what platform, what communication platform is being used at the moment. What does that mean more? Of course, having all these channels integrated in one place allows us to have compliance. Everything, every conversation, every instant messaging history, including the transcript of the conversation, can be saved back to Groupwise. the users can choose to save all these conversations we have on these different communications platforms. We can save them within Groupwise. They're not only being saved, but they're also being connected with the people that were involved in the conversation. As an example here, we see a screenshot of a Groupwise mailbox, and we see what happens inside the mailbox. New icons are being created. The transcript of the daily history conversations between Brad Smith and, in this case, Marlon Monroe, sorry, are being saved here, and we can see the transcript of the whole conversation. We can see what they were talking. We can also see the little icons to show us on what channels we actually used. But the important thing again, it's important that they had the conversation, and thanks to GWTalk, this conversation now is compliant, same as our emails are always compliant. Of course, using GWTalk, this also works with Skype calls. If I do a Skype call using GWTalk, the call is being registered in my Groupwise system. I can add notes during a phone call, during a Skype call. They're being saved back here within Groupwise. Also, I can record a call, being it a VoIP call or a Skype call. The recording will be added as a WAV file to the new icon that's being to the new entry that's being created to Groupwise. Also, SMS text messages. We will have the proof of the messages being sent. We even get confirmation status reports. Another thing something else that's being created when you have all this compliance, when you have all these transcripts being written back to Groupwise and in GWTalk as well, you'll have advanced search possibilities. The GWTalk client allows you to search for content within the conversation that happened. It allows you to choose on what channels to look for, or it will just tell you on what channel it happened. Same, of course, works within Groupwise. Groupwise does have a very, very nice search feature, and if you search within Groupwise, the results will not only show emails or appointments, it will also show the new stuff that you have in Groupwise. It will show you results from the instant messaging transcripts, from text messaging transcripts from Skype for phone call notes, being Skype calls, being it regular voice over IP calls. Again, this shows important is not where we talk, important is that we talk. So, having a long story short, in today's world, many new ways of communication have come. The way people talk has changed, and the enterprise now needs to make sure to fill the gap between having the standard, the traditional way of communication, which was telephony and email, versus the new channels, the new ways that came up. We can call them under the big mantle name of social media and social media tools, instant messaging, and so on and so on. These are the new ways of communications. They have come, and this gap between the new ways of communication, all that communication information, all the history that is happening, this needs to be somehow converted into the existing communication that the enterprises have. With GWTalk, we are putting this into one place. We're filling the gap that now exists so that we can make sure that today's enterprises are ready for the ways of communication that have come. In addition to GWTalk from Skype, we also have a fax integration for Groupwise and a text messaging integration only, with a bit advanced features, more advanced features than the texting feature within GWTalk. let me see. Are there any questions? I don't even know where I can see the participant windows. Are there so far any questions at this point?
Let's see. 1 minute. Let me look through and see if there are any. I don't see any this time. If there are any questions, feel free to put those through in the Q&A, and chat, and we'll get to those. But I don't see any at this time, Christian.
Very well. Well, at this point, my theoretical part of the presentation is over so far. What I would like to do now is I would like to actually show GWTalk in action. As I am using it currently to join the webinar, we can see here I have my GWTalk, the client open. I actually have a line active, line number 1, which means this is the line I call. This is the line through which you can hear me right now. Something else that I have is the contact window. As we can see here, we have the contacts. We can see who is online and who is offline on which channels. I have several new folders created for people that I'm using. I know one person from the audience is actually in here. He just found me, and he chatted with me using our own instant messaging service. Greetings to Dietmar from the audience, by this way. Something that really helps, that really is nice to see as well. If we're looking at Groupwise, we can see we've created new folders. Well, I've created new folders where I can save all the. Let's get rid of this. All the. Yes, this is actually very nice. We could see that Dietmar is online. He just pinged me. Get the window back. Here we see Dietmar is online. So if he wants to, he can ask a question using GWTalk instead of using the chat in the WebEx. What we can see here is we can see daily chat histories.
Hey, Christian, I think we might have lost your sound. You may want to try to call back in. Hopefully you can hear me. I'll try and chat that through, too.
Hello?
Oh, we can hear you now.
Huh? Well, I don't know how this happened.
We lost you for a few minutes there, but we can hear you again.
Okay, I apologize for this.
Not a problem.
I hope it was not my fault, but well, I was just about I was here showing the new folders that are being created by GWTalk, where we actually see all the history of instant messaging being saved with the transcripts, the folders of phone calls. We see the dialed phone calls, the received ones, of course. And as you can see, the little symbols here, some of them have little S. This means these are Skype calls, and the other ones that don't, they're just regular voice over IP phone calls. Another very nice feature that is being added to by GWTalk is actually if we're looking at let's say we're looking at the history of a contact, now thanks to the addition of these new entries in Groupwise, we not only see the emails that are being sent back and forth with other contacts, we do also see the phone calls. We also see many quotes with the call. In this case, they were not. This was actually just trying to dial a phone call. We can see here we are. We can see the instant messaging transcripts, all these things. So this is adding additional CRM functionality basically to Groupwise. And then should you archive things, these are being archived as well. Also, the thing that is being added thanks to our tools is we have the new icons on top of the Groupwise bar. Also, what is happening if I right-click an email, we can directly initiate a phone call or send a text message or a fax to this person. Last but not least, I would like to show within GWTalk in the client itself what we have here is obviously we have a dial pad where we can dial a call, but in most cases, if the contacts are being used properly, we can use the dial pad because you just let's say you just right-click someone and choose on what number you want to call them on Skype, in the office, or on the mobile phone, or if you want to send them a message, an instant message on one of the available channels, or if you want to send a text message to that person. You can also do file transfer, and it will show you which instant messaging services that this person have available file transfer. What we see when clicking within the client itself, we see a list of names here. These names are equal to connections to telephone servers. So this means at this time, this GWTalk client is connected to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 telephone servers at the same time, allowing me to choose what the dial-out number will be, but most importantly, allowing me to be available on all those different telephone servers. So if someone calls me on at the European office, I will appear online, and the front desk can connect a call to me as long as I'm online on that server. Settings for GWTalk, as we can see here, we have all the connections to these multiple communications channels that exist. We have Facebook, we have Skype, Google Talk, the Novell Messenger, all those various telephone servers, and we have a connection to Groupwise. With the Groupwise connection, we actually this allows us to use contacts. Very important. We can use Groupwise online address books, meaning the GWTalk client gives us the opportunity to choose any Groupwise address books that are available to me, and I can choose to display them in the contact window. Meaning every time I start up the client, it will sync the contacts. It will give me the online, the latest status on these Groupwise address books, and this is very, very helpful. It will always show the latest status on the contacts. Also, if I wish to, I can import contacts one time, but then I will not be able to update the contacts anymore. What I can do, if I'm looking at a contact book, I can always update it as well manually if I like to. How are we on questions? I unfortunately cannot really see a question.
That's okay. Yeah, I still don't see any others that have come through. Once again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to put those through on the chat or the Q&A.
Wonderful. Thanks, Q. Well, I think giving a brief overview and having showed this, um, there are, as you can see, there's the possibility to chat. There's the possibility to record calls, start recordings. We have access to the history, same as we have it in other in mobile phones. We can see all the call history. We can see the entire call history, the incoming calls, the outgoing ones, the missed ones. We can see if the call has been synced with Groupwise. So, and what we can do is we can add a note. Maybe that's one thing I would like to show you really quick. I had a call here, an outgoing call to Annie, who should be in the audience as well. So what we can do is we can add a note to that phone call. And then we save it. And what will happen, we already saw it happened really quick. It got synced with Groupwise. So what I can do now is I can go Groupwise, go back to my dialed calls, and in this case here, I will probably need to update my mailbox. And here we are. So what we can see now is the input that I had before was updated, and now I can also see the notes that I had, the notes that I added. So I can choose to take notes during or after phone calls, and they will be saved by Groupwise instantly. Last, but now coming to an end, GWTalk available. We offer free evaluations, fully functional evaluations of the product. We offer these for all of our products, actually. What we also do, we offer complimentary remote support during setup and installation of all of our tools. Should you be interested in test driving GWTalk, we'd be more than happy to help you. You will get a link. You can download it from our website. And if you like, we have a online chat available through our website. You can contact me directly anytime. I will be more than happy to set up an online meeting together with one of our technicians, and we will guide you step by step through the installation and setup of GWTalk. We'll make sure you have a connection, not only to your phone server if you have one, but also to your instant messaging services, and so on and so on. Same counts for anything else. Again, the question: are there any questions so far? I think there's something.
Yeah, there was one that came through.
The Groupwise Value Pack. Yes, we have a question from Don Schrum. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The Groupwise Value Pack is it's an EMEA. It's mainly made for EMEA, but if anyone else would like to have GWTalk from the Value Pack, we'd be more than happy to help you out with this. The Value Pack is available to everyone who has a current maintenance for Groupwise. With Value Pack, you will have access. You will get, additionally to Groupwise, you will get a product from Guava. You get Guava Vertigo, a 1-year subscription for free, and you will get GWTalk Basic. You'll get a free version of GWTalk where a few limitations are to the amount of integrations, but in the beginning you'll have the full version anyway. You can test drive the full client, and then you'll get then after some time you will be converted into GWTalk Basic, where you will not have the voice over IP integration. In order to get the Value Pack, or in order to get GWTalk Basic, please get in touch with us. get in touch with me. I'll make sure I'll set you up, and I'll send you the client, the latest one that we have. I hope this answers the question from Don.
All right, there was another question that came through that just said, do I need an additional server within my company to run Groupwise Talk, GWTalk?
To run, you need an additional server. No. GWTalk is independent of servers. The thing you do with GWTalk is hold on a second. With GWTalk, you connect to multiple other servers. You don't need your own server. You can connect to your own telephone server. Let's say you run an asterisk telephone server in-house. You can connect GWTalk to that asterisk server or a Cisco telephone server. Let's say you run Novell Messenger, but you also have a Jabber instant messaging service in-house. You can connect to that server. But the GWTalk itself does not require its own server. What happens with GWTalk, as soon as you install GWTalk, we from SkyPro, we created a voice over IP and a instant messaging server for everyone who is using GWTalk. So everyone who's using GWTalk has the opportunity to choose this free account on a SkyPro hosted telephone server and a free account on a SkyPro hosted instant messaging server. It's kind of creating our own network where people can talk amongst each other, and if they like to, they can go to our website and add credits to be able to call outside this network.
All right, yeah, that looks like all the questions we have right now. Once again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to put those through on the Q&A and chat. If not, I think we can go ahead and finish up, Christian, if you're ready.
Absolutely, yes. Again, I thank everyone for the attention. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you do see now a way how to communicate, according to the new ways of communication that have come up. There is a way for Groupwise to have integrated communications as well. Groupwise can be very useful in today's world by integrating and adding compliance and integration of these new channels. If you have any questions, if you're interested in free demos or in additional presentations, or if you want to learn more about our other products, please contact me. My phone number 408-329-0105, and actually you don't need an extension. That's a typo. Or send me an email at christian.karch@skypro.us.com. Again, thank you, and giving the mic back.